Thanks, Johanna, and good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. As Katie said, I am the Vice President of our Resident-Owned Communities Program, and I'm leading our energy solutions work here at the New Hampshire Community Loan Fund. I started with the Community Loan Fund in 2023, which is relatively recent, but I've been working in partnership with ROC New Hampshire and ROC Communities since 2017. So before I started at the Community Loan Fund, I was a professor of law at the Vermont Law School, working in the Energy Clinic. And at the Energy Clinic, we partnered with ROC New Hampshire to establish the ROC Community Solar Model, and we led its early implementation in New Hampshire. And I'm going to speak a little bit more about that model in today's presentation. Now at ROC New Hampshire, I'm working with our team, with staff members like Johanna, to scale up our efforts in this space and bring opportunities for energy solutions to all of our borrowers here at the New Hampshire Community Loan Fund. And we think of this as a key resilience initiative. So the Tanglewood story is an excellent illustration of working together with our borrowers and partners to increase resilience in our ROC communities. And we've been doing this work since 1983, as Johanna spoke to. Since that time, everything we do at ROC New Hampshire, from helping residents access capital and coaching to acquire their parks and create cooperatives, to our ongoing coaching and training programs, that's what Johanna's been doing, for example, in the Tanglewood community, has been directed at creating and maintaining resilient, self-sustaining communities. And we're constantly evolving the model to better serve our borrowers. In more recent years, our focus on resilience has included adding some specialized resources to address new challenges in our ROCs. So now our team includes, for example, an infill specialist, and that person helps our ROCs place new homes in their parks to increase the supply of affordable housing and add park revenue. We have an infrastructure project specialist, and this staff member helps ROCs to identify finance and manage much needed infrastructure repair and upgrade projects. And those sorts of projects include things like major water and wastewater system repair and upgrades. And then we have an energy project specialist who's identifying opportunities for energy efficiency upgrades and on-site electricity and energy generation. Our goal with all of these positions is to help ROCs respond to the challenges that they're facing today, like the example Johanna provided at Tanglewood, but also to prepare them for new challenges that they may face in the future so that they remain financially, environmentally, and socially strong. So let's start with one of the biggest financial challenges facing manufactured homeowners across the region. Like nationally, we know that around about 40% of residents in manufactured housing face a high energy burden. And when I say energy burden, I mean that households spend 6% or more of their income on energy costs. New England has some of the highest electricity and home heating costs in the country. And so that's why we're taking proactive efforts to bring energy solutions to our ROC communities, including opportunities for weatherization, energy efficiency, and community solar. We're innovating solutions to help our borrower communities reduce energy use and energy costs, improve the comfort and health of their homes, and give ROCs and their residents greater autonomy over their energy future. And I mentioned these just a minute ago, but a few of the ways that we're helping our borrowers include weatherization and increasing energy efficiency to help lower the household demand for energy for heating and cooling. We're also exploring fuel switching to move away from more financially volatile fossil fuel energy sources like kerosene. Many of our communities are still on heating oil and kerosene. And then the installation of on-site renewable energy sources. And this can give homeowners more self-reliance over their energy situation and offset electricity bills. And finally, we also offer lending products for energy solutions to lower the barrier to change. What we've found is that partnerships and collaborations are the foundation for success for our energy solutions initiative. So energy projects can be highly technical, complex. They often involve multiple programs and funding sources. We've been really lucky to build relationships with experts working in this space. For example, we've worked with various solar developers, community action agencies, private energy efficiency work businesses, for example, Resilient Buildings Group, municipalities, the Vermont Law and Graduate School Energy Clinic, Clean Energy New Hampshire and their circuit riders, the New Hampshire Department of Energy, USDA, and our investors who believe in the importance of this work. And I'm sure I've failed to mention a number of really important partners who have also helped us do this work. So I apologize for that. But the key takeaway is it takes all of us to make this work successful. Working together, we've been able to help inform borrowers about the opportunities for energy solutions, help them make informed decisions about energy solutions, and then when they choose to take those opportunities to implement the projects. Our work is stronger thanks to the ecosystem of partners here in New Hampshire. So we've identified that New England has some of the highest electricity costs in the country, and some of the ways that we're helping to lower the monthly burden that our borrowers face. And now I want to take some time to share more about one of those solutions that we're giving our communities, which is access to solar power. So you can see in this picture a 100 kilowatt AC community solar project. This is located at the Mascoma Meadows Cooperative in Lebanon. The Mascoma Meadows Cooperative Solar Project was New Hampshire's first ROC community solar project, and it's a really excellent illustration of partnership in action. Before I go too far into the details, for anyone on this webinar who might not be familiar with community solar, it's essentially just a shared solar project where multiple electric customers, so in this case, the households in the ROC, so Mascoma Meadows, for example, has 45 households sharing this one solar array, where those households share the benefits of the solar array. That's what community solar is. It's made possible in New Hampshire by our group net metering program, and additionally by the low moderate income community solar program. And it wouldn't be possible to do this work without the support from the legislature, the Public Utilities Commission, and the New Hampshire Department of Energy, who all made those programs possible and keep them going today. This 100 kilowatt AC project, as I said, serving 45 households in Lebanon, New Hampshire, was installed by Revision, so solar developer here in New Hampshire, in 2018, with funding from the State of New Hampshire's Renewable Energy Fund, combined with equity contributed by impact investors and some lending from the New Hampshire Community Loan Fund as well. The project is sited on land that was gifted by the park's neighbors, the Abundant Life Church. So really neighbors lifting up neighbors illustrated there. And with pro bono legal services from the Vermont Law and Graduate School Energy Clinic. And they really took the lead in developing this model. And of course, perhaps most importantly, the most important partnership, I should say, was Mascoma Meadows itself. This community really embraced the opportunity and the challenge to be the first ROC to implement a community solar project in New Hampshire and provide an opportunity to really test this model. The first model is always the hardest. There's always a lot of lessons that we learn from doing the first model. And this is now providing a roadmap for energy solutions to other ROCs, not just in New Hampshire, but throughout the country. They were really proactive, the households here at the Mascoma Meadows Cooperative, and they were involved at every step. And more importantly, they were very patient as we learned our way through this process. Today, this project offsets about 65% of the participating households' electricity use, and it's reducing their costs per household by approximately $20 to $28 a month. But it's also led to the completion of 2 additional ROC community solar projects. So I remember in 2019 getting an email from another ROC saying, hey, I read about the Mascoma Meadows community solar project. Is that something that we could do here in our community? So this idea of seeding really works. And the ROC network is a great place for sharing ideas and success. We now have plans, well, there's another 4 projects that have been funded or in various stages of development, but we have plans to really accelerate our work with community solar and ROCs, with an additional 15 projects planned over the next 5 years. So now let's talk a little bit about another opportunity to do a comprehensive energy project for one of our borrowers. So a project that I'm really excited about is going to be combining the lessons we learned right from the very early days of Mascoma Meadows and then across the additional community solar projects that we've done. And we're pairing it with weatherization and energy efficiency. This is going to be a pilot project that will provide an important opportunity for data collection and storytelling to demonstrate the tangible benefits of each type of energy solution. So weatherization, energy efficiency, and community solar. And we really anticipate that this will be a model that will help ROCs nationally. We're working with the Northwoods Cooperative in Berlin, New Hampshire, so right up there in the North Country, in partnership with Tri-County CAP, the Vermont Law and Graduate School Energy Clinic, and the Clean Energy New Hampshire Circuit Riders. And this project is going to be utilizing the Weatherization Assistance Program funding, some federal and state funding, municipal support, and also private funding. The project is going to involve, as I mentioned, energy audits and weatherization upgrades, and that's really best practice when you're doing energy solutions. Start by improving the envelope of the home and reduce unnecessary energy waste. We're going to measure the energy savings following the weatherization measures, and then we're going to install energy efficient cold climate heat pumps to help transition the households away from kerosene heating. And again, after we've finished installing those heat pumps, we're going to measure the energy savings after that phase as well. At the same time, we'll be installing a community solar array that will help offset some of the electrical costs associated with transitioning to electric heat. And that will be direct energy savings on each of the household's energy bills. So while...
One second, Jeannie, we're having some technical difficulties. We've got to reshare. So give me 1 second here to get the slides back and I'll cue you in.
Sure. While we're reloading those slides, I just want to let folks know that we're going to shift gears a little bit and start talking about energy efficient homes. So, you know, we've talked about improving the energy efficiency of existing homes through weatherization and energy efficiency retrofits. But one of the important tools that we can also use is an infill.
Jeannie, I could tee up a question for you while we kill some time.
Sure.
Who owns ROC solar projects?
Yeah, so we use 2 different types of ownership for our ROC community solar projects. And really the ownership structure is going to depend on the funding source and also the community's ability to manage a solar array. So for the Mascoma Meadows project, that one is owned by a third-party investor. It was funded partially by grant funds and partially by impact investors and lending. But we have other projects where they are either fully grant funded or the community was able to raise funds to pay for the entire cost of the solar project. And so in that case, the ROC itself owns the project and they manage that project for its lifetime.
All right, it sounds like we're still having technical difficulties, so maybe I'll tee up a question for Johanna. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Johanna, you had mentioned earlier that the ROCs, they work on the 7 cooperative principles, and this is something that we that's part of our coaching and technical assistance that we provide the communities. Can you tell us what those are?
I should be able to. I teach them, so this will be a good test to run through them. Yeah, those seven they're international cooperative principles that all co-ops use. So any cooperative that you heard of is going to be following these same guidelines. So the first one is democratic member control. So like we said, it's a democratic process, and the membership are the ones deciding things and voting, and it's democratic is the first one. The second one is open and voluntary membership. So that means essentially no one can force them to become a ROC, and they also can't like keep certain people out of becoming a ROC. So it's open and voluntary membership. The third one is membership economic participation. So kind of like we talked about, they're running the finances of that, and they're participating and develop the economics of their ROC. The fourth one, let's see, forgot I got three. Fourth one, oh, Jeannie, you might have to
Also, if you can't remember them all, it's okay, because I think
might go out of order.
Our technical difficulties have been solved, I'm hearing, so we can continue.
All right.
On.
Maybe we'll queue that up and I'll finish them after I've had a chance to double check them. I'm skipping the fourth one, but that's where we've got the first three so far.
All right, Jeannie, back to you.
Yes, I'll transition now to Energy Star Homes. So I've been talking a lot about weatherization and energy efficiency in the existing housing stock, but it's really important to also address energy efficiency in new homes. So I mentioned earlier that we've created a new position in the last several years for an infill specialist. So that's someone who helps ROCs fill their vacant lots. And that is a key part of our resilience initiative. And we also have our Welcome Home Loans team that helps new home buyers purchase manufactured homes and move into ROCs. We've talked already a little bit about our homeowner assistance loans and how those can help with down payment and closing costs for home buyers wanting to move into ROCs. And now we're using those homeowner assistance loans to incentivize borrowers to purchase energy efficient homes. So, you know, we don't need to do those retrofits. They're energy efficient from day one. Last July, our entrepreneurial Welcome Home Loans team modified our traditional down payment and closing cost assistance loans to incentivize the purchase of Energy Star certified homes. Now, Energy Star certified homes have enhanced insulation. They have high performance windows. And this is really key because actually when you're retrofitting a manufactured homes, windows often aren't included in those retrofits because you don't get enough bang for your buck, so to speak. So having these high performance windows from the very beginning is a really great feature. The Energy Star homes also include efficient heating and cooling systems, and these meet strict EPA standards. They're designed to be more energy efficient than the standard manufactured homes, and they lead to lower utility bills, increased comfort, and reduced environmental impacts. Our traditional homeowner assistance loans provided up to $25,000 as a 0% second silent mortgage for newly built homes. Now we're offering an additional $10,000 in assistance, so $35,000 in assistance, if those new home buyers choose to purchase a new Energy Star certified home. Since launching this program last year, we've seen a huge shift in borrower demand. So 63% of new home buyers that we provided lending to selected Energy Star manufactured homes compared to 0% in the previous year. And prior to offering this program, local manufactured home dealers weren't even offering Energy Star homes. So this is a really great example of how our lending and our borrowers are changing demand in the market. We have new net zero homes on the horizon. So those are homes which have even higher energy efficiency standards and also the potential for on-site self-generated power to offset all of the energy needs in the home. And so right now we're watching that development very closely to see how we can help our borrowers and combine that with our lending products to incentivize those developments. We're also providing energy solutions in our small business program. So we've taken the same learnings from building energy efficiency within ROCs and manufactured homes, and we're helping our small business borrowers to lower their energy burden as well. So you can see in these photos, this is the Mill Village Country Store in Stoddard. It's a market that is an essential resupply spot and gathering place for many people in the local community there. It's owned by Libby Branch, and it's managed in partnership with her sister. The store was widely popular in the summer, especially with visitors to Highland Lake, but it was struggling in the winter, especially with rising heating costs. So we worked with them to get an energy audit done, and that identified opportunities for upgrades to reduce their energy burden. We've also worked to find funding that could help the store address these areas so that it could lower its monthly heating costs and stay open throughout the year, so not just in the summer when they were thriving. Again, the secret to our work here is the ability to provide both loans and coaching and guidance to help borrowers make the best decisions in their community and business. And this is possible because of the support that donors, investors like you make. And with that, I'm going to hand it back to Katie.
Thank you so much, Jeannie, and also Johanna, for sharing how we are helping our borrowers grapple with the realities of increased damaging storms and volatile fossil fuel prices. We are committed to this work and have even made climate mitigation and energy solutions a key component of our 5-year strategic plan. In recent years, we've invested more than $6 million in energy solutions for ROCs, businesses, and nonprofits, and we expect that investment will grow exponentially over the next 5 years. Many of you have reached out to ask how we're doing during this time of cutbacks in federal programs, specifically the uncertainty around the greenhouse gas reduction funds. The good news is that we had planned to do energy solutions lending prior to these federal programs, and we will continue to move ahead regardless of what happens at the federal level. The even better news is that you can help us continue this work with more low-cost lending capital and donations and grants to support the very specialized coaching and guidance that we provide. As an organization, we are excited about what embracing energy efficiency lending and a resilience framework delivers for our borrowers. Though the changing climate presents many challenges to overcome, it also presents opportunities for innovation, new investment, and equitable growth and prosperity. When you support us with a donation or an investment, you not only make our traditional loans possible, but you make this very specialized and critical work possible through coaching and guidance, whether that's working with a resident-owned community to create a capital improvement plan and add solar, or a business owner to save money by weatherizing their shop, or a homeowner to purchase an Energy Star rated home.